Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Guile here, and welcome to another Supreme Commander Epic. They're coming in thick and fast at the moment. You guys are loving the epics right now. I seem to be inundated with that sort of replay. Not that I'm complaining. They get more views, they're exciting to watch, and we love a good long one, but I'm nothing if not a fan of pluralism. Do feel free, guys, if you've got a decent 2v2 or a ladder match or something lurking on your hard drive that you know the rest of the community will love, shove it my way. Take a look. It might just get shown and might give me a little bit of variety for the channel. Or indeed, guys, if you're a tourney director and you are setting something up on the horizon and you're looking for a little bit of extra coverage, send it my way. Get in contact. I haven't done a tourney in ages. It's good, easy pickings for the channel. Would love to get involved with some of that. I know you're lurking out there because I see them pop up on the forums. Come and speak with me. Speak with me. Send me a message through all the usual channels. But today, as we say, it's going to be an epic. It's going to be custom 5v5, and in honor of the budget day yesterday here in the UK, we're going to show some work, examples of our own work of people who've no idea how to balance an economy. That's right, it's Average Joe's Day today here at Guilecast, and today's game is going to take place on Pyramid. I'm ready, you guys are ready, and the players are sure as hell ready. Let's go on over to the game zone and see how they're going to get on. Ching, ka-ching. Instant loading. That makes me very, very happy in my pants. Right, let's take a look at our teams. We'll call this Team 1 up here at the top, Team 2 down here at the bottom. Going first for Team 1, rearguard air position, if there is such a thing. It's Flooded Lava, going Cybrin, 0 points for both the name and the racial choice there. He's going Cyanide Scion, opening first land. Team member number 2 to his south on the right flank, it's Azrock. He's going Fim, or Seraphim to the uninitiated, going Regal Purple, opening first land as well. In towards the center, and Baby Blue, our first Aeon today. He's Sentinel in, he's Mad. It is Mad Sentinel going first land. Team member number 3 or 4, if I could learn to count, that would be good. It's Glob, another Seraphim, this time in Elephantine Grey, going first land. And last but not least, up front for Team 1 in Combat Green, it's Town Noob, our one and only UEF for Team 1, going land. And there he is, sitting up front, all pretty. So we got 1 UEF, 1 Aeon, 1 Cybrin, and 2 Fim there for Team 1. Let's take a look at Team 2. Rearguard air position, first of all, it's Glyph, Halliborn Orange, another Cybrin, interesting choice, going first land. Up to the left flank over here. In Breast Cancer Awareness Pink, going Aeon, going first land, it's Rattlesnake. And he's going to go second land as well while we're checking him out. In the middle for Team 2, Triax going UEF in Burgundy Red. He's opening first land. Team member number 3 down here in Lurid Green. My good friend and fellow caster Brinko Insanity. Incidentally, he may have casted this game or done a live stream while he did it. And if you don't already check out his channel, guys, do go and check him out. He's one of the premier casters here in the FAF community and does a lot of other videos as well. His channel name is the same as his name is listed here, Brinko Insanity. Go and check him out and support all of the different casters here at FAF. Anyway, he's gone Aeon, bless him, opening first and second land. Last but not least, in Electric Blue, vacating the base section already on his way to the middle. It's he's either got a silent G or a silent C at the end, but we're going to say it's silent C. It's Tynog, and there he goes on towards the middle, preceded by Mantis, a lab, and a mole, 2 labs in fact, right around the pyramid. Game quality's at 76%. That's a pretty appalling balance. It's about as balanced as Germany v Poland circa 1939, but I'm sure it'll be a good game unless, well, it's an epic, so you know it's going to be reasonably close. It's going to go on a bit, so you can take that as a given. Air Scouts out there from Flooded Lava, bombing its way, or not bombing as the case may be, shooting its way over to the bottom left, getting a good old read on everybody's bases. You can see that scouting nicely. Transport just popping off the conveyor belt there for Glyph, who hasn't gone straight for any early air offensive power. Instead, he's thinking expansion. Always, in all ways, Ryan Serhant would be proud. Loaded up with 4 engineers, and that's still not enough. Now, first few shots fired somewhere, but I can't actually see where. I've got a little scout, a spirit there for Rattlesnake, hitting at the top left-hand corner. Where be the shooting at? Sounds like it's over here somewhere. It's up here at the top. So Tynog picking off a single solitary unit there from Team 1, leaving a smouldering wreck. Couple more NGs inbound just to cause some issues. More civilian casualties. They're just queuing up, coming out of the base there from Glob. He's feeding them. Completely unnecessary. So that transport we saw for Glyph heading out to the bottom right hand corner. Factories going down in the southeastern canyon for both teams. And would you look at that cheeky little run by into the main base there of Glob. And they're prioritizing that T2 mechs. It's going to take a while to chew through. Might work on the engineers instead. Nice little quick reclaim action there from those engineers. Picks up the scout. The lab gets taken out by the Tham that rolls off the conveyor belt. And I think the Tham is probably going to win this exchange. It's going to be close. Oh no, maybe not. Mantis is going to pull out. But not many hit points left. That will be the end of that little encounter. A couple of engineers down there for Glob. You've got Auroras pushing into the bottom right hand corner. The engineers did make landfall. They've gone straight for the mass, but it's been scouted. We saw a scout plane on the minimap. Or I didn't mention it because there's so much going on, but we saw a scout plane from ASRock just past that transport, so he was alerted to that drop, and as a consequence went straight in there. But actually we've still got 3 engineers alive down here, and these Auroras for Brink have turned up in the nick of time, although a little bit of micro wouldn't go amiss. Oh my goodness me, and that Zui has managed to take out all of the engineers. So despite the timely arrival of Brinko Insanity and his T1, merry T1 band of Auroras, a little bit of lack of micro there on behalf of Glyph meant that those engineers weren't saved after all. T2 upgrade on the way for Triax, 50% done there. UEF ACU, that'll help hold the area with some triads, get a few of those down. And we've already got land factories setting up in variable quantities in the middle for both teams. Town Noob about to finish his 3rd factory in the center there. Slightly behind Team 2 though. We've got 4 online just for Tynog and 1 online for Triax. 56% done on a T2 upgrade for ASRock down in the South Canyon. Bit of a tussle here between Brink's, Auroras and ASRock's, Zui's and Tham's. Nice little unit mix from ASRock, making sure he's producing those light artillery pieces to help him outrange various things and take down structures quicker. Little run by from Triax, picks up that corner mechs in the center. Nice kill there. And onwards they press, trying to inflict maximum damage and stay ahead of this tank platoon from Town Noob in the center. Up here at the top, a little offensive drop being queued up there as a whole bunch of Zuis load up onto that skyhook that must have been produced out of the back. That's interesting actually. They can't be Zuis. Must be Medusas, unless they were gifted over from one of his Seraphim teammates. Perfectly possible, I suppose. But in comes a drop there from Glyph. He wants to get them on the ground quickly though, because ASRock has spotted him and he's locked onto it with an interceptor, and in come the rest of them. Oh, I was just about to get them on the ground, but now they're on the ground in a way. Not in a useful way. Smouldering in that crash crater. Cheeky little bombing run from Triax, homing in on that ACU of Town Noob, who's anchored to the spot. 68% done on a gun upgrade. did finish the T2 upgrade for Triax as well, but interestingly, no point defense creep materializing. That's the usual play when you're in the center and you want to lock it down. Shove a whole bunch of static emplacements in your opponent's face and try and force him out of the middle. Flooded lava inbound to that bottom right hand corner, but that seems to be that Zui drop or that Medusa drop we saw earlier. So is he going to offload? No, that is a waypoint right into the back, so he's going to try and get in behind Brink and cause some problems. There's a lot of potentially vulnerable engineers over here, and of course all of these T2 mexes. He's got no direct fire tanks though, so it's not going to be easy to avoid the reclaims from those hordes of engineers. Brink, meanwhile, in the canyon over here, getting work done with those Auroras. Needs to get these on the ground. Does manage it. And they were Zuis, in fact, so I was right. They looked like them. They were gifted over, presumably from Glob. And he's going, interestingly, straight after the Volcano, the tactical missile defense. So he must have a TAC missile battery up somewhere and want to utilize those. In come the engineers. They've got a few reclaim orders off. It's not paying as many dividends as I thought it would be, and Brink manages to produce a blaze in the nick of time. Few engineer casualties up here, and a few T1 P-gens as well, but all in all, this could have gone an awful lot worse for Brink. How has it affected his power? Well, he's feeding off his teammates anyway, and essentially he survives. He's held on to all of his T2 mexes. That will be the key outcome from that exchange. Another transport inbound up here for Glyph. Looked like he was going to the top left hand corner, but no, he's going to drop short just north of the midpoint. TAC missile launcher from Rattlesnake launching off towards Team 1's base. We've even got missiles attacking. I love that snaking approach they take. Hitting Glob there at his forward production facilities, taking away that T2 mechs. Down goes another one over there, so Glob falling foul of some TAC missile strikes there. Stream of Mantis, meanwhile, inbound from Tynog. Oh, vulnerable T2 power plant. Doesn't want to be standing next to it, though, when it goes off. Loses one Mantis from the volatility explosion. He'll be happy with that. Excuse me. T2 mechs up here. Mad Sentinel. Is he going to manage to hold on to it? Yes, he does with 60 hit points. But he might not manage to hold it as they come back out again. There it goes. Flooded lava came at them with his ACU and they pulled back out. So actually, that has not gone well for Mad Sentinel, who is almost short stacking the entire field. He's on 26. Behind him, we've got Tynog on 19 for Team 2 and his other teammate Taunoob on 23. All in all, though, Team 2 seem to be doing better in generated eco at the current stage. 235 to 211. Total eco, that's also being replicated to 128k versus 122k. Walled off section here is going to impede Tynog's progress. He's going to try and blast a hole in that wall section, but trouble is there's Zuis lurking behind. So all that time he's taking fire. The wall does collapse in one place, but as they line up in front of it, that's a lot of unnecessary artillery fire they're taking. T2 units up front are soaking up a lot of the damage, but there are T2 units on this side as well. We've got an Ilshiva up front. And those forces just got sandwiched as more of those units from Glob came around that hillock. It's actually gone quite well for Team 1. maximum casualties inflicted. But would you look at this? Tau Noob has dropped back. ACU giving up the center altogether. We do have a few of these Gatling box roaming, utilizing their ranged advantage, lobbing a whole lot of fire into their factories, but looks like it. Away go the rocket volleys. Oh, lots of dead light artillery in that barrage. Nicely done. That's going to hurt too, potentially. Well, they're mostly pillars in there, I think, are they? No, I can't. No, my T1 from my T2. They look bigger. I was too far away. It's like that scene in Father Ted where Ted's explaining to Dougal about the differences between model toy cows and the cows that are far away in the field out of the window. And yes, in that analogy, I am Dougal. And if you like that episode, you remember it, you must also like this video immediately. That is the law, and I'll be coming for your firstborn if you don't. I'm sure there's a law somewhere in the world that can get me canned for making a joke like that. Gun upgrade completes there in Glob's base. And forward marches Rattlesnake. He's going to try and get an Oblivion turret online. Will that be in range? I would have thought these would have been opening up on him if that was the case. It all depends on how much vision they've got. Well, they didn't have vision. Are they opening up on them? I think it's just out of range for Glob's PD. Still getting work done on the ground with the Span. Tynog up front, now harassing Azrok's base in behind all of his main forces, which are actually located in the canyon. In turn, he's also pressuring Brink down here. Brink with a nicely placed eruptor turret, though, should be enough to safeguard that mechs over here, although of course we do have Zui's inbound. He's going to lose the eruptor, but the comm should tidy up everything else. There it goes. Hello. Strap bomber out from flooded lava. Second bomb away. First one impacted on the shields over there for Rattlesnake. Kills 3 mass storage around that T3 mechs, but that T3 mechs is still alive. Now, did the Corsairs kill it? No, it's going to get another shot. Maybe gets the bomb away. Didn't go directly for the mechs. That's still alive. I think it was going to survive either way, but did pick up about 3, 4, maybe 5 engineers, most of which were T2. So that was a pretty good run. Strap bombers, though, of course, expensive stuff. Glob has actually moved out from under the shield coverage over here. Might be preparing to withdraw. Rattlesnake has placed 2 Oblivion turrets, got a couple of mobile shield gens, and is now moving up with the Evensong mobile missile launchers. He's also got a miasma back here as well, so he's got static T2, he's got tactical missile launchers, mobile missile launchers, point defense up front. Much less commitment on the base wars there from Glob, who seems to want to make his stand further back. That's going to put the top left-hand corner in jeopardy there for Team 1. And down goes that forward PD. There's one further back over here. Meanwhile, mobile missiles inbound from Azrok. Launcher in here somewhere. Looked like they were coming in from that direction. Oh, it's actually, excuse me, again, not only getting my tanks mixed up, my projectiles as well. That is from that artillery installation. Just about got those mechs in range. few people complaining after the last cast as well about the amount we zoom in. Honestly, it's not an exact science, but I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't. Lots of people love to see the whole map all the time. Other people constantly on my back to zoom in more, so I try and strike a balance. Apologies if it doesn't quite sit right for you. Now, mass count. Almost 50 mass behind now, Team 1. 397 to 350. And we did mention earlier that the teams were stacked. I think they're definitely stacked in favour of Team 2, and that's reflected in the eco. Even Songs have moved up with, well, all the shield generators in the world, quite frankly. Protecting a group of mobile missile launchers as they harass that forward position. He can afford to produce some units, maybe even send these groups of T1 in. There is a T2 PD further back here, so they'll want to deal with that, but he's got a heavy band of T2 up here, Oblivions, Blazes, and they've cleared out just about everything resource-wise in that top left-hand corner belonging to Glob. T3 gunship out for Flooded Lava, heading up to that top left-hand corner now. There is no anti-air capabilities in this unit mix, so it will be able to get to work, assuming no Air Force from Team 2 shows up immediately. Good solid air-to-ground firepower on those whalers, the Cybran T3 gunships. Those and the UEF broadswords, two fantastic gunships as far as they go. But in come those fighters we thought might arise, but they are only T1, so that whaler's got a little bit of time. Any aerial response from Team 1? Yep, in they come, and this time they are ASFs who are just going to munch those fighters from Glyph. No chance of dealing with that, and as a result, what's left of this, what was quite a sizable band of T2, has to move back over here and is now getting bombarded by some T1 bombers. They really need to pull back to the shield coverage back over here. So quite a few casualties in that exchange. Meanwhile, he scored a little bit of victory there against those ground targets. That whaler moves on to bigger and better things, moving out over here to harass some of the resourcing options and units right on the edge belonging to Glyph. Takes one shot over here from a Redeemer and then promptly gets vaporized by Glyph's brand new ASFs, but they are outnumbered now. And as Flooded Lava tangles with him, they are going to do so over the top of the flak and mobile T3 anti-air over here. Flooded Lava wisely assesses the situation and says, "Nap, don't like that." And he's going to back out towards the base. Connection there from Cybran TAC missile. Almost takes out that T2 Mex. Doesn't quite manage it because it gets hit by a TMD on the way in. Annoying Cybran TAC missiles have an ability to split after they get hit and still do a proportion of their original damage, or a portion. Glob looking pretty chunky back here after completing 3 upgrades. He's got gun, he's got nano, he's got T2 engineering suite on there. Only 15,500 hit points, so not enormously beefy in terms of health, but that regen will be helpful in a pinch. But now we're seeing some T3 mobile bots on the field, and it's Brink, who's a one-man wrecking crew at this point, strolling in with 3 harbs, just going to town on some of these positions in the backfield for ASRock, who's looking incredibly isolated. You think what all of this looked like a moment ago. It's all been thinned out, and now he's looking pretty all by his lonesome there with his comm. He's got the T2 engineering suite, but not much else, and now there's groups of units pushing in behind him, cutting him off from the rest of his teammates. That is far from ideal. Brink trying to take down that brand new T3 reactor. He's got a gunship on him. Point defense spammed up quickly, but I think he's going to get it one more shot. Oh, and that's pretty clutch. ASRock prevents it from going critical by starting the reclaim immediately, and as a result manages to keep all of these engineers, most of which here, certainly these 4 or 5, I think would have died in that explosion. So good attention being paid there from ASRock. You see, it might be average Joe's. You go back a few years and a 1400, that would have been above his pay grade, a play like that, but not anymore. The standard is definitely a lot higher than it used to be a little while ago, generally speaking, as far as the Joes go, but that was pretty solid response right there. Clutch in a pinch. Pinch in a clutch. ASRock needs to do something. To be honest, if I were him, I'd be working out an exit strategy right now. Don't see him holding on to that, not unless he gets more assistance from the rest of his teammates pushing out from the top right hand corner. Rattlesnake working on more artillery. Oof. That's a lot of T3 mobile there. 3 Southerners under shield coverage for Glob. And those asylums are not up to the job. He's almost out of them. Only one functional one left. The other 2 are recharging. Ow! Excuse the annoying Facebook ping in the background. Just shutting some windows down. What a horrible noise that was in the middle of the cast. And Glob completes an experimental. It's an Ethota, and that could be interesting for this left-hand side, especially with the positioning here. Team 2 are going to want to scout that and scout that fast. Rattlesnake, very exposed potentially. That's what Rattlesnake can see. He has got a scout plane going over, but that gets taken out instantly. No read there on the experimental, so he won't know what's coming, and instead he's pushing forward into enemy territory, running blind. Wants to get in and take out those mobile artillery pieces, and that should be the alarm right there. How much attention is he playing? You can see that weapon coming in from the right of the screen, and the ACU is advancing with it. Is this the point where Rattlesnake thinks, oh no? The ping goes out in case he hadn't noticed, and Rattlesnake turns tail and run! Run for your life, little pink Aeon man. Look at that, he's got a transport already. That is what they call being prepared. Few drops up here from Brink. He really is pushing the boat out for his team. Just up here. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to forget about the Ethota and just push, counter-attack. Although that comm, of course, is pretty beefy. He's taken a bit of damage, but he's got that regen over there. But still, that number of hubs, if you can land them on that comm, you stand a chance of taking him out, especially if you back it up with some aerial firepower. But that Ethota now just tearing into this base. Rattlesnake safely evac'd down here. Good attention being paid. See, that's why it always pays to have a T2 transport on hand, especially if you are up front as he was. Nice little TAC missile strike there across the middle from Triax, taking out the T2 mechs from ASRock. Strat bombers over on the left from Triax, going after the Ithota, but it's hardly taking any damage at all. He's sitting pretty at about 65k HP. Oh, and he was building up his own T3 mobile artillery squad. That would have caused all sorts of problems for Glob. Corsairs in from Glyph. That has taken a serious chunk of health off the experimental, down to 40k now. Oh, but 2 of the Serenities taken out, 3 remain. And wanting to keep that Ithota alive, he's not going to push it in and hand over a great big giant mass gift to his opponents. Brink with 4 Harbingers left alive, going for a run by up here. It's been spotted though by the bombers there from Azrock. We've got a completed experimental there from Brink down on his side of the map. We'll check in on that in just a second once we've seen how this fight is going to resolve itself. Inbound forces on the ground from Tynog surrounding Glob's comm, who's already repped up to full health thanks to that nano upgrade. Those lightning tanks, though, devastating against ground as well as air. So what was that experimental? It's a GC, and it's on its way up towards Azrock, who... Is he still loitering around here in the middle, still determined to hold it? Where actually is the commander? No, he's wisely evac'd back to the main base. Not pushing a bad position, potentially, and that's no bad thing, because look at all the harbs that Brink is pumping out now, and he's leading the field in terms of eco as well. So he's at 218, and second highest player is actually his teammate as well, Triax, is just 211. And then we've got a 181, so they've got the 3 chip leaders on Team 2, and, well, they're almost 100, they are actually 100 mass ahead, assuming that's not Reclaim related, on their opponents. So that is something Team 1 need to rectify. The problem is that Team 2 control the middle, they control the bottom right, and Team 1 not able to get in proper control of the top left. They've just got that one T2 mechs there for Glob, so they are down on territory, and it's reflecting that in their eco. Map control paying dividends right now for Team 2. Dragonfly with a couple of units on board, looks like a couple of T3. Another experimental out from Brink. What have we got? It's a second GC. And that's a T2 power plant that's going to die. Definitely wants to deal with that. There it goes. Air units tangle above the battlefield. Oh, inbound strats. Where are they going? Heading over towards Rattlesnake, who's out in the open. Where's the Air Force for Team 2? Could this change a few things around, potentially? Rattlesnake spotted the danger. Bombs away. Shield's going to give him a little bit of leeway. Doesn't kill him on the first pass. Where's the Air Force? He needs it. There's still a lot of strats alive. He's heading for the shield. Can he get there in time? He's down to 5,800 hit points. Attack ping suggesting not to go for the comm, to go for the power grid instead. But they're going to run out of strats, I think. One's gone off map. Is it still alive? Oh my god, get under the shield properly. What are you doing? Did you get the bomb off? No, he didn't. Whew, so hindsight would have been better to go for the power grid. Rattlesnake gets away with it and responds with a little bit of friendly abuse in local chat. Well, why not? Thota standing out front with all of the guns on his giant arms, vaporizing everything with his hands and his face of doom. So much death. So much improbable load-bearing structures on this massive bot. Something that isn't improbable, though. The UE Fatty, the thing of doom. A giant, oversized artillery tank of awesomeness. Cruising along with massive, massive tracks. Just lobbing death indiscriminately at range. It really is the magic of this game. The sheer plethora of different units and how awesome they are in different ways. But cruising into the firing range of 2 GCs, however awesome your tracks and guns are, not great for a fatty. And he's still rolling forward. Look at all the harbingers from Brink in the background scurrying their way forward. Finally, the fat boy realizes the danger, turns tail. But it's too little too late as the GCs lock onto it and take him apart. The chicken goes 1v2. Wants to get it in range so the Ion Storm will do some damage. Down it goes. It's going to lay a bit of a smackdown on some of these harbingers. Another experimental out for Brink. Wonder if Brink's going to march that one back and control K it, hoover up the mass. Might not be a bad idea at this point. A few bricks. No, sorry, Percival's down the centre from Tau Noob. Takes a little bit of Corsair fire. Can't believe how close Rattlesnake was to going out there, but he's repping up comfortably, more comfortable. Dreadful, dreadful commentating there. 8,000 hit points. Yeah, that's totally acceptable. To be comfortably more comfortable is a natural phrase. It's been around since Roman times. Oh my goodness. Glob on the attack now against Rattlesnake with a very heavy shielded pair of Ethotas just strolling in the front door. Strap bombers out from Rattlesnake. A lot of mass being sent over to Azrock. What's Azrock building? Something to try and repel the 2 GCs from Brink. Only one now, the other one was sent home. Back on the invasion over here though. This is where it's at. Rattlesnake needs to evac. And he's going to, but he's going to lose his base here. This is pretty good work from Team 1, considering how far behind they've been. They've actually caught up a lot. If that is genuine eco right there, that is a lot of catch-up they've done. 753 to 761, and they've caught Rattlesnake. The first person to go out is from Team 2. Team 1 have been behind all of this time, and there's still plenty of damage that can be inflicted here. Brink is trying to catch up with these 2 Ethotas with a GC from behind. Another experimental out from Brink. Triax on the move, trying to get out of the way here, but Glob with a stunning play. He's going to take out most of Triax's base, and the other one looks like it's going to march pretty unstoppably into Glyph's base, and Glyph caught up against the bottom boundary. He could be in trouble. In comes a Dragonfly to try and evac the comm, but he needs to be careful, doesn't want to get shot down. That Ethota now in Glyph's main base. Brinko Insanity still trying to catch him. Glyph on the way, trying to get loaded up on the transport. He's on board but gets taken out in the sky. Oh my god. Glob takes out his second scout. And he's destroyed most of Triax's base. What a spectacular batting collapse from Team 2. Who looked like they had it sewn up. Well, okay, maybe not sewn up, but they were comfortably in the lead. Brink was making good inroads up here. Azrock had been pushed right back. Just weren't ready for that pressure down the left-hand side. Rattlesnake dropped the ball a little bit on defending that side. Brink couldn't get there in time. Wow. Just wow. So now Team 2, they've dropped a lot, but not as much as you would expect, losing almost half their team. It's plummeting more now. So 542 versus almost 800. 798. Just wow. So now Team 1 take a massive, massive lead eco-wise, and that is going to embolden just about everybody. Azrock now looking to push out and reclaim some of the territory he's lost. Harassing some of the mexes in the bottom right-hand corner. Not with anything major, just spat out... Who said shat out? Just spat out a T1 bomber. Going after the T2 mechs. Down here at the bottom. Brink could surely dispatch a single ASF to take that out. Hasn't decided to do that yet. 3 GCs though grouped up together. Sorry, I misspoke. 5 GCs. That could be very difficult to stop. Brink sends that in right now, especially if he teams up with a Monkey Lord in the center. If they push all of that up in here, they could undo all of the work Team 1 have managed to do. Cheeky little Percival in over here. Triax trying to deal with it directly with his commander. In come the support commanders from Brink. Down they go. The Triax down to less than 100 mass now, 99. Tynog on 101. And now Strats inbound as well. Where are they headed? Flooded Lava wanting to keep it going. If they can take out Brink, this game is over. Brink holding it together for Team 2 right now. This is going to be where it's at. This is going to be where it's at. That Ithota, well aware of what's coming his way. He got a scrying tool. Certainly looks like it. I'm not sure exactly where.
Strategic launch detected.
A little bit of nuclear point defense out back there from Flooded Lava. Brink knows exactly where that's going, so he cunningly splits his forces, and all of that's going to get out of the way. It might actually hit the reserve force back here. It's not. It's going to hit just in the middle. Lost 2 asylums up there, but all the rest of that force is doing fine. We've got 2 chickens and a fatty under shield coverage. We've also got a GC coming in from Mad Sentinel, who's going to try and repel this Colossus invasion from Brink. Strap bombers up here for Flooded Lava. Keep an eye on those. Two GCs versus 1 up there on the left. 2 chickens versus 2 GCs there in the center. Fat Boy engaging the pair of GCs to the left. Down goes the GC on the left flank for Azrock. Down goes the far right flank Ithota. And that GC in the center is still alive. Brink still with 4 operational GCs. Azrock down to just a Fat Boy. That's gone really quite badly. Although that is a gnat's pube away from death, that GC, with just 9k left on the clock. Don't know what happened to that set of strats. Is that the same lot? They're getting caught up with a fight from Brink. And still those GCs march on. This could get very messy for Team 1. Still a decent number of strats in the sky, actually, so Brink's Air Force has been taken apart. An experimental bomber! That livens things up a little bit. 2 GCs remain. We've got Restorer gunships in the backfield from this attack from Sentinel working on that rear GC. Fat Boy up front going toe-to-toe, getting some assistance from the strats in the sky belonging to Flooded Lava. GC down to 27,000 hit points. The shield's down on the Fat Boy. He was getting a little bit of coverage, though, from the base shields. Still, that GC carries on going, and Azrok's comm is standing right there. He needs to overcharge. The GC locks onto him. Who's going to go down first? It's going to be very close. Azrok goes into the red. Oh, my God, they went at the same time. Brink manages to kill off Azrok, though. That's absolutely huge. Just a moment later, will that be pivotal in this game, I wonder? Still, that... Oh, my God. And Glob goes down to the Monkey Lord there from Tynog as well. Just as the experimental bomber turns up to take him out. Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. My blood pressure's through the roof. That was insane. Absolutely insane. So that could not have gone better for Team 2. Having lost 2 players, like Brink had built up this massive force. He manages to push through. And God, Team 1 just really unlucky. Just a little bit more firepower. And Azrog survives. Glob looked like he could have done with that experimental bomber. Just landing one a fraction of a second earlier. Goodness me. Whoever said Average Joe's games were dull, I will call them a massive liar and insult their mum. Because it just isn't the case. Couple of bricks trying to eat through that shield there, but too many harbs lying in wait to contend with. Managed to protect that T3 reactor under shield coverage. Tsar under construction, nearly done actually for Brink at the main base. Flooded Lava still trying to get some work done with these strats. Brink producing just enough ASFs each time to prevent any critical damage being done from the skies. He takes out the strats, he loses all of his ASFs in the exchange, never achieves air dominance, but keeps his vital ground operations going. Tsar completed. Oh, don't park your planes there. That's so much T1 anti-air, that's frightening. Onwards they go. And I can't believe it, but in terms of map control, Team 2 are still winning. With the demise of Azrok, they never really lost it, so they never got a chance to push into the middle. Team 2, they would have, I think, if they'd managed to shut down that attack without losing their players. But wow, still a 3v3 now. Nice little bombing run on that group of 4 Percys there. Tsar looks like he's just going straight in for the kill. Where's the attack order? There it is. Brink lying in wait. Going straight after Tau Noob, but he's going to have to hope he crushes him with the donut. And he does hit him, takes him down to 5,800. Takes out most of his base with that falling Tsar. Yes, he's given him a mass gift, but look at the damage he's caused. So much damage inflicted. Ouch. Painful. Megalith and Fat Boy lying in wait for this Monkey Lord who's just not going to get anything done. Not going to escape it either, I don't think. A few strats buzzing around from Flooded Lava. Boom. Down he goes.
Strategic launch detected.
Hello, another nuke out from Flooded Lava. Where is he going? So he's going for the centre. Wants to clear that out. Vulnerable target. No SMD, presumably in the middle. And there we go. That's going to connect. Strange cyber nuke. It's like it spawns Sauron's eye and it just irradiates everything. A little bit of micro wars going on, skirting around the hillside there. And the ranged advantage, all with Team 1, it would seem, in that counter. It's all T1 spam up at the back, belonging to Tynog, who's just couldn't care less about all of these expendable. He's even going to control K them. No extra veterancy for you, please. Second bomb onto that group of Percys who seem to be very keen on guarding this particular patch of sand. There's no strategic importance whatsoever. Just been lurking there for the last 10 minutes, taking the occasional strap bomb to the face. That's something to do. Another Tsar under construction. This concerns me for Team 1. If Brink keeps managing to pump these out and just keeps lobbing them at their bases and has similar success as he had over here. Yes, there's been some good rebuilding going on for Tau Noob, but they can't afford to keep doing that, especially if he picks a different target each time. Wow, look at all of these fatties that have shown up here for Flooded Lava. That's a lot of range damage coming in on that spider bot. 850 hit points, but no. I thought he'd managed to duck in behind the pyramid, but those fat boys just pushing south managed to cause enough trouble. This is an interesting little ranged posse pushing into the center after that nuke from Team 1. They've got some on the ground direct fire, some harbs down here, but what you could really do is a whole block of Percivals to sit in front of all of this so they don't have to keep backing away. Lots of support commanders out now for Brink. Now look at that. So 4, 5, 6 there for Brink. He's dropped down to 387, so that might have been reclaim related. I think it was. But still, 387. He's almost 100 mass clear of the next highest earning player, which is Tau Noob on Team 1. Excuse me, no, sorry. Mad Sentinel. Unless he's reclaiming something enormous. Whoa, so much ranged hellfire. Oh, that's a bad place to be anything belonging to Team 2. What? No frickin' way. So that was a telemaser attempt that went wrong. So suddenly Team 2 are down a man. So an attempt at a telesnipe on Flooded Lava. Apologies for missing that, but it's so easy to with those tele-snipes. Must have been chatting. Yeah, teleporter done. And picked the target. They happened to be sitting by a whole load of T1 PD. If you're wondering how to repel something like that at this stage in the game, you're worried about a Cybran pulling a cheeky one, well, that's how you do it. You build a whole bunch of T1 and T1 PD and sit right by it. And that is generally the outcome. And now it's a 3v2. Team 2 fall behind again. 669 to 544 in terms of generated eco.
Strategic launch detected.
Team 1 pulling in over 100,000 mass more. About 150,000 mass more over the course of the game. Another nuke out from the backfield from Team 1. So a fringe nuke up here. Nice work though from Team 2. They managed to take down the Megalith, and they've taken down a Fat Boy as well. In fact, 2 of them. Only 1 remains. Brink has been doing an amazing job from the sky with all of these strats. He's got air control. He's absolutely annihilated Flooded Lava's air force, leaving all of these experimentals completely vulnerable. Brink rapidly becoming a shoe-in for MVP in this one, single-handedly holding it together for Team 2. That's enormous, but now we've got T3 artillery, which is bearing down on Brink, has just taken the SMD out, and I bet he wished he hadn't fired that nuke now, although it's not long till he has another one. Strats causing all kinds of problems from Brink, going after Tau Noob now, and he's exposed. His shields are down. He's trying to get into his forward base. One more hit will do it. 1,000 hit points left, and he goes down. Once again, it's a 2v2. But Brink absolutely knocking 7 shades of poo out of his opponents right now. But that T3 artillery piece, in fact, those T3 artillery pieces, there are 2 T3 artillery places, and they are causing no end of issues now for Brink. A lot of exposed power generation facilities down here. And he's lost his strategic missile defense. And there's a nuke, and where's it going? It's going down here. Brink moving his comm and all of his support commanders. He's going to lose everything in this. That might get to keep that quantum gateway. Depends on this shield. Think he will just about keep it. Maybe, yeah, he'll keep that. But I think everything else is going to go down. That's my prediction. But that economy is largely mobile now, thanks to all of those support commanders. Yeah, he might even keep a few more bits. There we go. Manages to keep everything under this shield gen as well. That wasn't as devastating as I thought. It was just a little bit too far out. Was there an SMD in here he was worried about? Yes, and with good reason. There are 2 anti-nuke loads as soon as I lock onto it. The thing gets taken out by an artillery shell. So, actually, if he'd have prioritized that a moment sooner, he could have gone right in the center. But things going well now for Team 1. Having said that, look at the map control differentials. So, Triax, 600 rated player of note, pushing out all over. He's got engineers up here. He's expanding. Whereas look at this tiny little island. It is now full standoff mode. Team 1 in full sit in my base and build standoff tactics, weaponry, and lob them and hope that works. 55 minutes gone. Brink and Triax will now be locked into build as much shield coverage as I can. He'll be happy he kept his quantum gateway alive. and working on spamming up another anti-nuke. How long on the next nuke? That's the question. He's about 40% done. Flooded lava. Not able to see what we can see, of course, but if he dumped everything on that nuke launcher and got a load of assistance from his teammates, they are in a pretty pickle right now when it comes to nuke defense. Both trying to get some operational tracks, just trying to get his silo rebuilt. Brink has his, but he's got everything on anti-nuke production. And of course the build time significantly less on the anti-nuke than the nuke. I feel bullied, says Rattlesnake. So much reclaim on the map. That is the reclaim, if you're interested. Would you look at it all? Actually know where you see the reclaim total on the map. Not seeing that pop up anywhere with the old Control-Shift-Command. I'm assuming he's not a savant who can look at that and tally it up immediately. Though that would be cool. And Team 1 is behind again in Eco. Team 2, that must be reclaim related. It is 513 to 435. So after everything, Team 2 back in the lead. Still down overall in total mass for the game. It's been a funny game, this one. Lots of to and fro. Lots of make or break moments. The total mass doesn't necessarily tell the story of the game. It's felt like Team 2 has been in control for most of it until Rattlesnake and Glyph got taken out. And it felt like the momentum switched massively, only to have it switch again. And then again with Tynog failing to successfully execute the tele-snipe, instead getting himself taken out. Oh, would you look at those Cougars. Brutal UEF T3 mobile anti-air. If you're not recognizing those units, well, it's because you're playing on Steam and you're missing out, guys. It's an example of the excellent additions made by the FAF community. You wouldn't know they weren't core GPG units. They look just as good as the original stuff and fulfill a vital need, a gap in the game. Percy's about to score a support commander kill. This is great work on the ground from Triax, bearing down on Mad Sentinel. Remember, this is a 600 rated player from Triax and a 200 rated player from Mad Sentinel. I know, you know, at the end of the day, it's global ranking. It doesn't mean everything. People play different kinds of games. Doesn't necessarily represent their true skill, but it's the best overall measure we've got. Great tidying up there from the two remaining players from Team 1. Flooded Lava and Mad Sentinel dealing with it was a pretty hefty assault right there. And what else is going well is Team 2's ability to get shielded up and keep that artillery out of the base. How are we doing on the anti-nuke side of things? We've got a loaded anti-nuke missile and decent amount of shield coverage to protect it. Two operational Zars. And quite a few strat bombers as well, so Brink gearing up for his next aerial maneuver. As is Flooded Lava, can see the motion of Brink's Air Force. They're getting ready to respond. He'll be aware by the speed that they're moving that that's 2 Tsars. And he's seen the strats thanks to the scrying tool, which I haven't been able to locate. They've definitely got it. Unless it's some weird new upgrade on the recent patches, which I'm not a fay with. Down goes 1 Tsar. This is great work from Lava. He's going to get the next one too. Oh, that's a lot of dead mass for Brink. Will he win out over the ASF count from Brink as well? He actually did. Took down a load of strats. Took down 2 Tsars. That's a pretty brilliant engage there from Flooded Lava. What's the air factory count there? So 1 T3 HQ and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other T3 air factories. We've got the T3 HQ for Brink. So that he's got a scrying tool sitting right there. If you're not sure what the scrying tool is, guys, that's a building that allows you to see a portion of the map. And you can see that's where he's got it now. He's got a little bit of field of view right there. And there's the scrying tool for Team 2. So, Mad Sentinel with that. Sitting pretty far up front, actually. And that can be... it takes a certain amount of power to run, but you can pick any part of the map and see that little field of view, that circle of view right there. And pretty indispensable. Down goes the Quantum Gateway as the shields blink off for just a moment. Shells allowed to sneak through. But yeah, it can be really handy. And that's how he was able to lock onto those strats in that engagement. Yeah, more Tsars under pressure. This is a lot of mass that Brink is investing here. Can he continue to keep throwing these away? 1 down. He's trying to coax them in and ground fire them with that enormous laser as they come in through the center. That does work, but you've got to get it right. Meanwhile, the strats have gone around and they're looking for another avenue of attack. In they come. What's on this line? There's not going to be many left by the time they drop their bombs, if any. Yeah, that is stunning aerial defense from Flooded Lava. And that 1 Tsar heads back. Goodness me, Brink has lost a lot of units. So look at the kill-death ratio. Mad Sentinel is up to 3.58. He's killed 3.5 units for every one of his he's lost. That is huge.
Strategic launch detected.
Now, where's that going? Over here, hoping to kill some of this mass. There are harbingers up here, scooping those wrecks. Are they going to run in and get bathed in nuclear fire? It certainly looks like that way. Is he following that trajectory? It looks like he's cottoned onto the smoke trail. He knows where that nuke's going. It's going to catch a few of them at least. Only 3 in the end, but did take care of that other wreck. Where are we up to now in terms of artillery, T3 artillery? Cheeky little cougars marching into the base. So, Mad Sentinel working on his 3rd emissary, his 3rd T3 static artillery. And I think there's 1 disruptor in the back there for Flooded Lava. So that's a lot of artillery that's crossing the map now from Team 1 to Team 2. Percival's rolling in single file from Triax. That's not the best approach, especially against the GC, which can periodically suck them up. Still the focus in on over here. I'm wondering if the focus shouldn't really be over here in the power grid. But probably makes no difference the amount of support commanders he's got. But the amount of Zars that Brink is pumping out now, pretty frightening. 462, highest rated or highest generated eco, versus 301, next highest. That's Mad Sentinel for Team 1, and then 215 versus 162 for Triax. Short stacking. 1 hour, 5 minutes gone, and we're still not really any closer to a resolution here. The game's definitely developing. Team 1 continuing to plow resources into more and more standoff tactics. Soon they're going to get to a critical mass where the amount of T3 artillery overwhelms the shields, as you can only get so many shields in a given space. And eventually that will cause the ultimate issue. I mean, I think what he wants to do is again try and take out the SMDs. He's managed to take out Triax's again. In fact, Triax's base has taken a really bad hit. He's still got a lot of power gens operational. And 1 or 2 of the emissaries focusing in on Triax still. Another aerial battle in the middle, and this time Brink's doing a little bit better, bunching those Zars up and then ground firing as those ASFs come in to attack it. They circle through the middle, and stupidly they get absolutely wiped by that main weapon. The only way to counter someone who's doing that is to come in and break off and come in and break off and try and stop them going through the middle. But wow, he got 5 Zars operational. It'll be raining donuts in Team 1's base tonight. That is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. There goes 1. Moving in towards the backfield. There goes 2. We might be losing a few of the T3 static artillery pieces now. Could we be losing flooded lava altogether? Oh my god, the carnage. The raw, unbridled firepower. And there goes flooded lava. Brink's taking him out. He's still got 1 Zar left. There it goes. That's a shed load of mass. Look at it. Just look at it. It's like a giant been hurling discuses. It's like the Giants Olympics. That's just insane. That is insane. So, Mad Sentinel now, all by his lonesome. 1 hour, 8 minutes. What can he do? I mean, there's still 3 operational emissaries. He's halfway through getting a 4th, so there's still a decent amount of artillery. He's got all the mass in the world. If he can get the engineers going, then that will be it. And he's tearing apart Triax right now, who's gone into full T1 spam mode. He's kicked out a bunch of factories, and he's just producing mech marines. What? We've gone from the biggest units in the game, the Zars, to the smallest. And it's all going in the same direction. It's heading up into the north. It's just the most ridiculous game. Millions of hobos heading to the northeast. 1 strap bomber as well. And interestingly, the one person who was handling, of course, the air defense for Team 1 is gone. Flooded Lava, who did a brilliant job. Just don't see that very often, though. That amount of Zars. Oh my goodness. Now it's poor targeting at the moment. He's picked off a couple of these back here, but he's firing down on something that's too far back, and he's wasting a lot of shells. He's not landing them on the shields. Really needs to get in here on the power grid. If you can get in here on the power grid, take these out, take down the shields, and importantly, take down a lot of this build capacity that's pumping out these experimentals. That's where he needs to go. He needs to give up on the nuke and start inflicting damage. Right now, it's Operation Keep the Ants Out of My Base. This is like my house every summer. We get an invasion of wood ants coming in through one particular window and door. My wife goes absolutely insane with the ant powder. I have to remind her that we have pets and children. She liberally dispenses poison. She would not be enjoying this game, that's for certain, as these mech marines come pouring in. And the Harbs over there in the background as well, belonging to Brink. Engineers for Mad Sentinel furiously erecting banks of point defense to keep this stream of gubbins out. Oh, look at these. We've got some Harbs to the southeast as well. If they can squeeze up against the rock, maybe they could avoid some of these Oblivion turrets. But the shield gens have gone down over here. Needs to land a few shells. In they come. Oh my goodness. That's a lot of power that's gone offline. Whoa. But look how much Brink has to spare. He's still got an extra 14.5k thanks to all the support commanders. He's just not bothered right now. Two more P-gens go down. Actually, that has clipped him. So Brink now power locked after that titanic wipeout of his main power facilities back here. Meanwhile, back up at the other end, support commanders going pop. More support commanders for Mad Sentinel furiously trying to lay down defensive emplacements as a massive Harbinger incursion tries to push up around the back, followed in by this huge swarm of mech marines. There's so many T1 PDs though, they're not breaking through, especially not if they're going rock hugging down here. Two more Zars though, that would concern me if I was Mad Sentinels. An attack ping going down on Sentinel's comm. Fascinating game, this one. Oh, I know I was waxing lyrical earlier about Brink and his channel, and we should all support him, but I would love to see a final extra turnaround and see our 200 rated player somehow score some kills. But cheeky little so-and-so Brink in the background up here, right at the top corner with a couple of support commanders just building defensive structures. The GC locates them, but he's going to get ionized by these two Zars that are inbound. Mech Marines swarming across the front meanwhile from Triax. Attack pings going down on Sentinel's comm. 1 hour 12. Is this the end? I don't think so. There's a lot of anti-air down here. More donuts falling. Sentinel takes a hit, goes down to half health, loses his personal shield, and he's lost a few defensive shields in there and some other structures. Actually that much left back here. Brink still looking pretty healthy, but look at the devastation in his base. Meanwhile, look at the mech marines just pouring in from the west. Just not lasting long enough to do any damage, though. One hour, 13 minutes. Sentinel still holding out. What an absolute champ. Loving our 200 rated champ. And a wave of Lobos this time coming up from the bottom. Just full T1 spam mode now from Triax. What happened to those? Where are they going? I think that's a visual bug right there. Still haven't corrected that. Those ghost signatures when you get a lot of artillery going across the map. Support commanders spamming up GCs. We've got a new gateway up. Doesn't look like it. So we're not getting more GCs out. Support commanders out from Brink. He's still on 331, but he's still pumping stuff out seriously fast. And in come those Lobos now, putting pressure on that little group up here. Down goes a Transcender. He won't want to lose those with all the donuts that have been lobbed their way. Strap bombers inbound from Brink. That's a lot of engineers potentially, but he's gone for the Oblivion turrets instead. That significantly weakens this area. GC still standing, providing cover. About 10 Eruptors left up here, but most are badly damaged. Sentinel, have to give it to you. You're doing very well considering. I have to agree. It's pretty extraordinary. There's just not much left to kill. Lots of engineers sitting around. So this is the difference between the Joes and the pros. We've got so much mass everywhere, but he just can't afford the APM right now. He's all caught up in trying to contend with the inbound pressure, the inbound spam. He's not able to expand. He's not up here picking up these mexes, hoovering up the mass from his teammates' bases. There's a Tsar right on his doorstep, which he's not scooping yet. He's not expanding. I mean, you can't blame him. We're an hour and 15 in. SOPCOM head must be in full effect. Brink, where are we at? Still on 6,000 power. He's doing okay. SMD looking exposed, but do we even have a nuke anymore? I'm not sure we do. That nuke was flooded lavas, I believe. Restorers standing out. Guard out front, working on Harbs rolling in. So these two teams have just kind of muted each other. Brink chopped down to size on his eco. He's lost quite a bit of build capacity. There goes the SMD, but no nukes left to do anything with. And there's not really a lot of things left to nuke either. Brink now effectively almost mobile, but surely this will do it. Surely this will do it. Two GCs coming in the bottom. Sounded wrong. Mad Sentinel. Mad Sentinel out front. 2v1. A valiant effort. Oh, don't turn around. That's not going to help you. That's not going to help you ever. Quite literally bending over. 30,000 hit points, 20,000. There's still going to be two very operational GCs at the end of this one, and I'm pretty sure that's going to mark the end for Mad Sentinel, who really has put up a miraculous effort. It's been spectacular. But what's he got left to keep these guys out now? I love how Triax turned into survival AI. Yeah, pretty much essentially did. Look at it all. It's so much spam. Down go those pesky T3 artillery pieces that caused so many problems. He was actually up to 5 at the end there. No wonder he managed to break through Brink's shield coverage, which was pretty comprehensive. Instead of beelining straight for the comm, Brink taking great pleasure in getting rid of these pesky artillery pieces, which have caused him such a headache. Hoovering it all up. G, man, that was insane. Yes, it was. You broke my brain. Apologies once again, guys, if Brink did cast this. I'm sure he probably live streamed it. He live streams most of the time when he plays. So if you have seen this already, apologies. But it's always nice to see an alternative perspective, though, right? Yeah, I think so. Mad Sentinel to the last, up at the back, building point defense with his comm. Making every bit of game count. What a legend. Note to the pros, guys. This is how you play SOCCOM. You fight to the end like a true gent. Mad Sentinel showing them how it's done in 2020. Going out almost at 1 hour 20. What a game. Kaboom. But MVP Brink. Solid play. Definitely clutch win for Team 2. If it wasn't for him, that would have been a roll once the two teammates down here went down, but he completely took charge, got the other 2 snipes. That was awesome. Well, I hope you enjoyed it, guys. There's always more to come from me in the future. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you liked, or even if you didn't. Otherwise, you will grow knees on your nipples, and no one needs that. Patreon, of course, is still an option, guys. If you feel like supporting the channel, or indeed PayPal, details below this in each and every one of my videos. Please consider donating. As I say every time, all your support means the world to me, and it helps keep this channel alive, and by extension helps promote the community. Thank you so much to everybody who has donated in the past. I'm desperately trying to find a way that I can give out some rewards, some ideas to help reward you guys who do donate, because you do deserve something. I will be looking into that in the future. But until next time, guys, stay well and stay safe. This is Guile, signing out.